Alright. But like I was saying, you might have a Anubis energy about you. They fuck around and use your ass to sell dog food or something. Put you with a dog food commercial. You know what I'm saying? Just picking up from what I ended my last little video at, talking about icons, you know, understand it. What kind of energy you resonate here, if you resonate any energy. I don't, some of these niggas, you know what, some of these niggas just, I don't know, man. But yeah, but to trace it back to what I was, where that conversation originated from about the icon thing, when you have all these iconic figures or these celebrated figures within the entertainment or in the entertainment realm, and you see a large or considerable amount of them, of black entertainers who are wealthy or whatnot, when you see a considerable amount of them choosing white women as opposed to black women, you know, that has a certain type of impact on the psyche of those that admire these people or look up to these people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, and when you look at the comparison, it's when you compare how many black men date outside their race outside, I mean, in comparison to how many white men do it, you will see that you don't see as many white men that date outside their race, as far as celebrities and whatnot. So, but I you know, I'm not here to tell you who to date. You know, you date who you want to date, but whatever. But I just thought that was interesting. He died in the movie Candyman. He died for dating a white woman, and then he came back chasing the white woman, and then the woman he was chasing, if I'm not mistaken, ended up being his, I don't know if it was his daughter or something. She ended up being, you had to see part 2, because part 2 go more into the story, the backstory. And I think that she was like his daughter or something, like, or his granddaughter or something. I think that the woman, because it's been a while since I've seen either one of the movies, but I think that the woman he was with had a child when he died by him, and that Helen was his was related to him in some form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? And back to the Helen thing, that's because that's key too. The Helen thing, like I was saying in the first video, Helen is the word Helen. That word, hell on. Hell refers to the physical world, just like it corresponds to your physical body. Your physical body is your hell or your shell. The inside of the body is where the fire lies. You know what I'm saying? Kundalini fire, your Kundalini energy. You know what I'm saying? Your physical body is a cooking vessel. It's a cooking vessel. You know what I'm saying? It's I forgot how many degrees they say the inside of the body is, like 98 degrees or something like that. Your sun, you have a sun within you. The physical body is just a shell. Hell, that's why hell and shell go hand in hand. It's the same thing. There was something else I wanted to speak on in regards to that, the hell thing. Yeah, but hell on. Hell refers to the sun. On refers to the dark waters of noon, or just to put it in a mundane way, the nighttime sky, the darkness of space or whatnot. So, you know, that was the lady's name. Hell, she had the blonde hair. When you look at ancient like Norse mythology or whatever, you had I'm gonna tell you about Balder. You had the golden locks. The golden locks refer they use that to allude to the golden rays of the sun. The blue eyes alludes to the blue sky. So they use the and that's what I want to speak on too. When you go look at the Book of the Dead or the Book of Coming Forth by Day, there's actually because like I was saying, the whole suffering Messiah theme is not exclusive to the masculine or it's not exclusive to the masculine or the male sex, because you have mythologies where the woman plays the suffering Messiah. Like Ishtar has Persephone's she's kidnapped, took it to the underworld or whatnot, which is what the Candyman thing is too. Helen being the Persephone's figure. Candyman, his role, or the form of Osiris that he's living out in the movie is a Pluto version, because Pluto kidnaps Persephone and Demeter has to come save her, but he kidnaps her and takes her to the underworld. Just another winter tale, you know what I'm saying? Persephone's being the sun. They say when Persephone was kidnapped and took away from the earth into the underworld, all the flowers and plant life mourned at her death or at her kidnapping. Just like when the sun goes away, or the sun goes further away from the earth and to a point where it's not beneficial, or it's less beneficial to life on earth, and it's not vitalizing the earth enough to where the plant life can grow. The grief of the plants within the mythology is symbolic of the actual, or the death of plant life on the planet, the natural fact of death of the plant life on the planet during the winter time. So when you come back to this movie, he has her trapped mentally. You know, she and that's another thing too. In the movie, I can't, you know, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, so I'm not gonna say he didn't kill any white people in the movie. The thing I'm saying about that is the area that he's located in, that his lore or his myth is located in as a black community. Therefore, meaning that the people that you know, if you said his name 5 times or whatnot within these projects or whatever or wherever, but the story took place within the project. So where that was mostly black, well, that was a black neighborhood basically, Cabrini Green. So he has her trapped mentally because he's terrorizing throughout the movie, or cause, you know, framing her and shit. You know, I think he killed her husband or something in the movie, and she woke up and the knife was there, and the husband was dead or something like that. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. You know, I'm just really going off the top of the head, but I remember the outline structure of the movie. So, yeah, so, and I might have to go back over this one too once I go watch the movie again, but, the whole way of how she dies in the movie, the bonfire, I can't even remember what happened to Candyman in the goddamn movie. I need to go watch that movie again, man. I'm really tripping, but since I already started, I'll go ahead and give y'all what I can. But he did live within the walls. The thing with the within the walls thing was, it was like a mural. I think they went behind the wall and they found a mural of him. Yeah, they found a mural of him. So I think he did live behind the walls, just like the soul lives within the walls of your physical body. But this is what Osiris represents. He represents the soul. So when you look at, like I was saying with the bonfire thing, she dies within the bonfire saving the kid. When she saves the baby, she saves the black little. She dies, but she gets the black baby out of the bonfire before the fire consumes it or whatnot. So which is another Christmas theme. It's like when you look at the end of the movie, she comes out with the baby, holding the black baby, and that's the whole Christmas thing, you know. Osiris sitting on the lap of Isis, or the son being reborn within its lowest position in relation to the sun, its lowest position, or the most southern or soot-ton or southern position beneath the earth equator during the winter solstice and shit. So you know, everything has its place. And then when you go to the second movie, they deify Candyman. He's like, you start having, it takes place in New Orleans, like, which I was saying is another city associated with a lot of voodoo or voodoo or whatnot, magic. And it goes back to the bee, because the bee, when you look at the symbol that New Orleans is represented by, which you can see on the Saints jersey, that's called the Fleur de Lis, yeah, the Lily of France. And the reason why, because this symbol was used by the French, by the French at first, and we all know France and New Orleans has a relationship due to the fact that France, I think France was sold to, New Orleans was sold to the French by America, according to history. But then when you look at, the Haitian Revolution, when the slave masters when they were ran out of Haiti, they went to New Orleans and they took it was a lot of slaves that went with them. Some stayed with their people, and some chose to go with the slave masters or whatever. And that's why you in New Orleans college, some New Orleans refer themselves as Frenchmen, and their dialect and their accent is a mixture of I guess you could say some sort of African or original tongue mixed with French or whatnot. But I'm trying to find this picture so you can see the resemblance between the bee, because it's in France they refer to it as the symbol as a flower. But what I'm about to show you right now will show you how it also resembles the bee. And as I was saying, the bee corresponds to the soul. The soul always being connected with the wings, the birds, the bee itself, the letter B, breath, the breath, which is the soul of life or spirit of life or whatever. The ba, when you look at the ba in Kemetic, Kemet, the ba was the breath of life. It was represented by a human head with the body of a bee, or the body of a bird. This symbolizes the human who has the soul with the human head. It represents the most highest part of you. You know what I'm saying? Here it is right here. You see that? That's the those New Orleans out there. So it all comes back around. You know, he's associated with the bees. The second movie takes place in New Orleans, which is associated with this symbol right here. That could possibly be linked to the French fleur-de-lis, or the lily of France, as they call it. So, you know, all these things, man, are interwoven within each other, within the symbology of all these movies. And like I said, he was in the second one. He was like deified. He was they started having like copycat Candyman killings, and you know they were celebrating them. You know, it became a little theme. They had a Candyman theme going on, and I can't remember the second movie clearly, but I think that was one of the things. It was Candyman killing people, but it was like regular people killing people as well. So with the same copycat method, or copying his method. I think they was having a problem trying to figure out which was what or whatever, but they brought it back to the New Orleans thing, which like I was saying, is associated with the bee. It you know, man, you just have to. These movies, man, they a lot of this shit be brilliant shit. You know, me being an original man and understanding my ancient symbolism so thoroughly, and being able to look at these movies and see how these symbols interact with each other within the movies, and to see the brilliance of it, you know. Despite the fact that a lot of the times these symbols are used against us, or used to psychologically program us via movies, but at the same time, sometimes they use symbolism within these movies just to make a good movie. It's not always about them trying to subconsciously attack you. But a lot of these movies are subconscious attacks, you know. A lot of these movies, the hero dies, you know, and a lot of these movies, the villain is actually the good guy. When you think of it within the context of the objective of black people, or what's just to put it lightly, for what, in terms of what's good for black people. Just like when you look at that movie, the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad, when you look at this movie, is crazy because you have all these guys with these magical powers or whatever, but they're being used by the government. And they're more powerful than them, but they're still being used by the government. And then you have the black woman on there who she's like the most powerful. From what I've seen, she had the most pull, but she was like going against the Suicide Squad to a certain degree. You know, it's like, you know, she was under she worked for the system, but she had, you could tell she had the most pull and power. And then they had her, she was like the answer to June Moon. Cause June Moon was really the fucking hero, and she was really doing the work that black people are supposed to be doing here. You know what I'm saying? So here's another thing too, about the bee. The bee is sacred to the goddess Venus, and according to mystics, it is one of the several forms of life which came to Earth from the planet Venus millions of years ago. Wheat and bananas are said to be of similar origin. This is the reason why the origin of these three forms of life cannot be traced. The fact that the bees are ruled by queens is one reason why this insect is considered a sacred feminine symbol, and the soul is considered a feminine symbol. So, like I was telling you, it's a love story. Venus is the planet of love, and this whole thing is a love story. He dies. We look at it we look at it as a horror flick, which it is. But then you have to see the love aspect of it too, because he died for what? Over his love for a white woman, and then he's telling Helen within the movie, "Be my victim." It's almost as if he's trying to kill her to bring her to the other side so that she can be with him. And she does actually die in the movie, like I said, through the fire or whatnot. And like I said, it's a love story. So shit, man. Trying to see anything else I want to touch on before I close it on that. I don't want to forget nothing, because I had some other stuff I think I wanted to bring up. Yeah, man, I'll probably just go ahead and I'll probably revisit this one though, because I'm just trying something right. Not trying, but just rattling off the top of the dome, man. But I did think it was interesting how that one day I was sitting there thinking, I was just breaking the movie down in the Helen aspect of it, and then when I text old girl and asked her, because I was on my investigation shit, I said, let me hit homegirl up, man, and get some more insight, cause she's from Chicago, like I was saying. So I'm like, let me hit her up and get some insight on, see if I can get some information on Cabrini Green, and see what type of activity was going on in those projects. And yeah, that was the first thing she said. I was thinking about the Helen thing, and then I texted her, and she was like, the first thing she said when I asked her about Cabrini Green was hell. And when I watched that movie, it's like it's like you can see the movie and the people within the movie, the people that live in the community. It's like you can sense like an underlying fear within all the people. Like they were always under some type of fear, and fear is something that shuts down the melanin within black people. So who's to say? I'm not saying Cabrini Green was one of these projects where these kidnappings was taking place, but I'm quite sure it probably was, if this was something that is common to the projects, because like I said, Brother Bobby was speaking on it. He was speaking about like projects in Atlanta, and he was saying everywhere he went and done lectures, people would come up to him and say that they had people missing or whatever. And like I said, with the rabbi guy who was in an interview speaking about how they use these babies in rituals and shit, just some fucked up shit. But even that shit, man, that's crazy. But yeah, I'm looking at the movie, and if you just think about it, if you had these projects where people just come up missing and nobody knew where they were at, then, and if that became something that was known within the projects, then everybody would be walking around there with some type of fear, too poor to leave, can't go nowhere else, so you just trapped in it. And that's another thing I want to speak on too. Like, you hear a lot of these guys be speaking about, oh, they're gonna start the concentration camp things and all that bullshit. That's bullshit. Concentration camps been here. This is how war works. Make them think that something's coming and we can hit them with the shit right now. So while you painting this picture in your mind of what of concentration camps coming, and the concentration camps been there. They call projects, jail, projects, jail. Those are your concentration camps right there. Those are the concentration camps. Who populate jail? Who populates jail the most? Black men. That's your concentration camps. They've been here. Ain't no martial law. You've been living in the martial law. You know? So a lot of the shit that they make you think is coming is already here. It's just that they give you the eye, because they put that out too. You know, just like Behold the Pale Horse and all that book, you know what I'm saying, which that book is valid, but they put that out. Well, I don't want to speak like, I'm gonna just say, if they want to stop that shit from coming out, they could have stopped that shit from coming out. You can go get that book right now at Barnes and Nobles. You don't have to hide, secretly get it. You can go to Barnes and Noble and get that book, and it'll tell you all the shit that's going on right now. All that shit, this Constitution and all that old shit, which really don't mean too much of a fuck to me. You know what I'm saying? I live in a different realm. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my style is, you know, a lot of this shit is punk shit to me. You know, probably saying it. What y'all think woke is a bunch of that shit be punk shit. The entertainers, and not to knock what they do, because they do their part to do what they can, but they work for the people that they work for the people that behind the curtain, so to speak. So it's only so far they can go with, even so far they can only go so far with trying to wake you up to some shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you some shit and you think you want some woke shit or whatever, and really that shit be outdated. It's like, nigga, we been knowing that, you know. A nigga get on stage and make a speech and tell you the same shit you already been knowing for years, and y'all be like, yay! And it's like, the nigga ain't give you nothing new. You know. You know, this shit is, it's another level to this. You know, the Black Power revolution, everything is cool and all, but this shit is about spirituality. Real waking up for real is waking up your soul and being supernatural. Just to give it a phrase, or to be a cult, or to understand, like I said, understand symbolism. Because when you unlock these symbols and be able to spot a symbol and unlock it, it has a positive effect on your mental state. You know what I'm saying? You start being able to read everything around you. And this is how the ancestors speak to you a lot of the times. This is how they make contact with you, through symbols or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you might get some spiritual help, and they might leave the signature behind, but you won't even be able to spot it. You just be like, damn, I got lucky. And they'll leave a symbol for you to see it through. They'll leave a signature on the work that they did to help you, and you won't even be able to see it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't understand symbolism. You know, a lot of this stuff, man, people think, that's like, I was listening to this dude today. He was talking about Kanye. He was like, saying how Kanye need to read a book. He was like, yo, Kanye, he's totally lost and he needs to read a book. I'm like, well, nigga, it sound like you need to read a book, because if he need to read a book, you need to tell a nigga which book he need to read. Nigga, what book you reading? Cause he was saying some shit about, he was like, yeah, man, Kanye said slavery was a choice and he doesn't understand. We were poor and I was like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, we were too poor. Like, it was so many words. It was like he was trying to say we were too poor to make a decision, And I'm like, what does poverty have to do? Poverty have really nothing to do with this shit, man. If we look at this shit just within the context of how we were taught, how slavery happened. They came with pistols or whatever, and jukes niggas or whatever. What the fuck? If I gotta tell y'all yesterday or the other day, I don't give a damn if you are poor, but motherfucker stick you up and tell you either get down and lay down. What does being poor at that moment have to do with anything? With or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's like, yeah, man, we were poor, and now that's not a good rebuttal. That's not a good rebuttal. So y'all got Kanye fucked up. So y'all think Kanye just that's why he do what he do, because see, y'all think this nigga just y'all so used to just looking at him as a rapper and a ranter and he done dyed his hair blonde. Then he got Kim Kardashian, which y'all done put the Kim Kardashian curse on everybody and everybody that fuck with the Kardashians are just, I don't know what's going on with that. But see, he can do these things and put shit out there and say shit like he fucked with Trump or whatever, because that nigga has a deeper understanding than you niggas. So, when the guy was like, yeah, man, Kanye needs to read a book or something. I'm like, quite sure he has. Nigga, you need to read a book. If you're gonna tell a nigga he need to read a book, you might need to tell a nigga which book, because he can go read any book. You know what I'm saying? These rebuttals to this Kanye thing is just funny, man. I be laughing at these cats, man, because it's like, this shit is crazy. Niggas is just, niggas don't think no more. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't, we won't question when the quote unquote powers that be, or what powers that once was, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, give you something. You won't question that shit. You know what I'm saying? You won't question when the man said Obama he could have said America in general, but the nigga kept it local and said Obama ain't. And I'm not here to bash Obama. I got a problem with Obama. But what? Cause really, if you want to get down to some shit, the man said Obama hadn't did nothing for Chicago his whole 8 years in office. I don't know what the fuck he did for Chicago, period. But I know that he didn't want to speak about the whole cops killing. He didn't want to speak about the cops killing, gunning niggas down in the street thing. He did all this thing for the LGBT people and all that, but what did he do for black people? If anybody can answer that, holler at your boy, because just like with every other president, ain't shit. I didn't see nothing change. Ain't no positive change for me. He didn't speak to the black people. He spoke to the world or the nation in general, which that's cool too, because you have all these different races here. But then as a black man, why would you want this position when you can't even speak to those that need your help the most when you are a black man? I wouldn't want the job just off of that. See, me, got me fucked up. I might talk shit about niggas, because niggas need to hear that shit. But you got me fucked up thinking I'm operating just like any other race would and does, which is Taylor Swift, we're gonna let you finish, but Beyonce is number one. I'll be stop fucking with y'all, man. I fuck with Taylor Swift, man. She cold at that music shit, man. But every other race looks out for their race first. And I'm just telling you what I see, America. From the Hispanics to whoever, you know what I'm saying? And that's why niggas are in last place, because niggas don't look out for their own. You know what I'm saying? So he had a point with that. Nobody challenged that about Obama. Niggas was just happy they had a black president. That's how you gotta do with niggas. Give them a little bit. Just give them a black president. And then on his watch, all this crazy shit popped off. Like I said, niggas supposedly getting killed by cops in the streets and shit, beat, choked, and this, that, and the third. So it's like they said, we're gonna put this nigga in office, but we're gonna fuck over y'all to the max, and he's not gonna even be able to speak on this shit. But we gonna kick y'all ass these next 4, because I think the first 4 was alright. In that last